District 5.
Thank you and good morning, Madam Executive. At this time, the speaker would not like to bring any names forward.
Okay. Thank you. No other new business. Are there any public comments relative to matters under the jurisdiction of the county? Is there any other business under the jurisdiction of the county? All right. Okay, all right. Comments by board members. County Board Member Ballage.
Okay. I've been on the county board for 12 years. And every time there was a vacancy, everyone voted for the vacancy person. And we've had Republicans, including myself, we've all voted to see the pick of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. And I know in this case, the Central Committee has spoken for Mr. Oxley. And I know Mr. Oxley personally for like 30 years. And he's a very, very independent person. He's on the Lockport Planning Commission for probably 25 years, maybe 30 years. So I don't get what's the problem. We have to have a Republican seat. So if Mr. Van Dyne doesn't want to put somebody forward, that means that this is purely a political thing about what's going to happen next at our next meeting at the Forest Preserve. So I'm just a little bit taken back here that this is the first time that I bet it didn't happen under Larry Walsh at all. Maybe it did. Maybe somebody over there knows something I don't. Whatever. Republicans did not deny any Democrat seats ever. Not when I was there. So, I don't get it. What if you're going to deny a seat? Don't you think it's something that you should say? Why don't you want to have this guy? Because he's from Lockport, and he has plenty of Democrat friends. Because I know for sure he does, and he has plenty of Republican friends. He's probably the most independent gentleman that you're going to ever find. If he was running as a Democrat, I would vote for him. So, I just look at it like, okay, what's going on here? Why? And what's the end result? The end result is that everyone's going to have, we start out the 2-year term with a big battle going on between the Republicans and the Democrats, which is stupid because there's new people on the board and it doesn't have to be that way. But obviously it's going to end up being that way unless the other side changes their mind. I don't know what to say other than I'm kind of like shocked, but I'm really not shocked, but I feel like what the heck is going on? This is a dumb thing to do. There's no benefit for anybody unless it's a political thing. And I don't know how it could be a political thing because I have no clue how Mr. Oxley would vote on anything. Because Mr. Oxley is a very, very much an independent guy. He does what's right, period. And I know he does because I've known him so long. So, it's up to Joe. If he doesn't want to bring the name forward, God bless him. Right? I can't force the man. But I tell you what, if he doesn't want to bring the name forward, it's going to be a pretty rough roll going. It's already a rough roll, but it's going to end up being a lot rougher because I guarantee you're drawing a side now. It's like a war going on between the Indians and the Americans, and the Indians are tough, and so are the Americans. You don't know who's going to win. So anyway, with that, I think I said enough, but I'm pretty disgusted at what I just heard.
County Board Member Butler.
So I'm new to this kind of proceeding. I'm not sure how this goes, but I do know that this gentleman that we're putting forward was recommended by Annette, and I think that most people who know Annette Parker would not consider her an extreme hard right. Not, she's always been someone who has been conservative, fiscal conservative, but somebody who can reach across the aisle and work with people. And I feel like her recommendation reflects that kind of attitude. And I'm asking for just, at least 2 Democrats to just please help us out here. Let us move on in a spirit of cooperativeness and help us to, get on with the county board business. Because I think, I think we all want to just spend the next couple of years working together and getting things accomplished. And we're not going to do that fighting. And this certainly would be an olive branch to show that the other side is willing to work together. There's something
And just so,
wrong with an olive
yeah,
branch.
just so Mr. Butler is clear, at this time, there will be no vote. Am I correct? Since no name was brought forward. Okay. So just so you're aware, at this time, there will be no vote at this time. County Board Member Berkowitz, and then
Thank you.
Speaker.
I've got a few questions and I want to be able to answer or ask each one of them, please, if you'll be kind
To
enough to
whom?
grant me that.
To this,
To maybe to the state's attorney. The first question, however, is I would like the speaker to let the Republican caucus know the reasons why he has objected and decided that this nomination cannot move forward. I'm not in any circles. I have no idea. And I think I know as a sitting board member, I would like to know what are the reasons for the speaker's actions.
yeah, you could, he's going to talk when we're done here, so maybe you can,
What-
yeah. He's going to
This-
talk.
this is
He
the-
he doesn't have to answer your, I mean, he's slated to talk, so maybe he'll have a reason then. Is there another, like a legal question or something?
Well,
So-
if he answers my question, then I might have a follow-up. So I
Well,
don't
I don't
see
know if
why
he
he
has
can't
to.
answer the question that I've
No,
asked.
I've answered, asked, you've asked, and
I don't want you to answer,
Well,
Jennifer.
it's okay,
I
because I'm
would
running the
like-
meeting, and he's going to have an opportunity to talk. So if you
Okay.
have follow-up questions after he speaks, we'll come
So
back to
I
you.
would just respectfully ask the speaker to provide us with that information. This is really unfortunate. Annette is the individual who brought several names forward. These were all very good candidates, no bias there. And this is a little frustrating because this action, again, takes away the representation of the residents in Will County because we should have someone in that seat to represent the citizens. And because of the actions of one individual, that is not going to happen until who knows when. So that leads me to my second question to the state's attorney. This apparently, I'm shocked, one person, the speaker, can put a complete halt on this process. And one person, how does that happen? Mary, how does that happen today? I've never seen this happen before. One person determines that. Please explain that.
Well, the statute provides that the speaker nominates the person to fill the position.
What
It has to-
statute?
The county's code and the election code provide for filling a vacancy. So it provides that the speaker brings forward the name. They have 60 days to do so.
Does it provide the speaker the ability to just refuse to bring anyone forward? Because this can happen again and again. Where are the checks and balances on this?
There's a 60-day limitation. And
So-
it must be
so-
brought forward within 60 days.
And then another candidate can come forward. Does the speaker have the ability to do that again?
There is 60 days to fill the vacancy. 60 days.
And this is based not only on state statute?
It's on state statute. It's the way it's always been. It's always been the chair. Well,
Well,
it used to be the county executive brought
It,
forward the
it
name,
may
but
be the
then the
way it's
statute
always
changed.
been, but it hasn't been the way this county board has acted.
There
So
are
I'm
times when,
disappointed.
well, I'm going to, number one, past doesn't matter, but I know
It doesn't.
that without question, this county board avoided calling a vacancy for over a month because they didn't have a name and they wanted more than 60 days to do it. And that was when Mr. Mustis was the chair. So the idea that you have gone and not filled a spot for any length of time is just patently wrong. It's
Well, I
not
don't know that
factually
that's
correct.
true, and we don't have
well,
anything
we have
in
minutes to
black
show
and
it.
white. But the fact is today, this action, I just want,
Yeah, please go
I-
back to the motion now, all right? Or to,
My-
the
my
not the motion,
point
yeah.
is that we are proceeding from this moment on without fairly representing our constituents.
Well, and I
And
would
that
also
is
note that,
unfortunate. And that is my message to the people who have come forward, or the person that has made that decision today. Thank you.
and I would also note, because you want an example, Ken Harris's vacancy was there for a full 60 days because the Republicans all voted to abstain rather than vote in favor of that nomination.
Yeah, so,
So it has happened.
no, it doesn't, very good. Okay, so we have county board, or we have Speaker Van Dyne, then Ogala. Oh, you want? Oh, you want to, okay, all right. Oh, that's right, we're in comments, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're in public comments. County Board Member Ogala, you're right, sorry. Sorry, you guys. There you go.
Thank you. So I just want to clarify some things. So the fact that the Republican chair at the time did not bring forward a name was because the simple fact that the election wasn't over. November 5th, there were numbers out there. There were 8,000 outstanding votes that were not counted until the 19th. And the election was not certified until the 26th. Due to that fact, that's why a name was not brought forward, and then we went into the Thanksgiving holiday. That's the fact with that. As far as the previous time when Member Costa didn't get appointed, that was not on the Republicans. That was a fight between the county executive and the then Speaker, Mimi Cowan. That was the fight between them. Then Speaker Mimi Cowan did not want to bring forward El Costa because she was on, you can shake your head, Jennifer, all you like. I was there. I remember it. El Costa was on the primary, and they didn't want somebody who was on there to be elected. They wanted to bring somebody else forward. That's why that happened. That's why our leader at the time, Mike Frizzalone, yes, shake your head. You're recollecting wrong. Yeah, I know, and you're recollecting wrong. That's why our leader, Mike Frizzalone, said we should abstain because they had the votes to work it out on their side. So it's not like we didn't vote for them. We did vote. We abstained. We didn't vote no. We abstained. We let the Democrats have it on their side. If they had the numbers passed to bring Al Costa on, then she would have been seated. That didn't happen. And I don't know that it was 60 days. I guess I'd have to go back and look and see if it was 60 days from the time that Al Costa came till Saud was put in. I don't think it was 60 days. I think it might have been 1 month between those two meetings. So that is all incorrect in that statement. It is unfortunate that this board, we're a 50-50 board, that we cannot appreciate the other side, that we can't understand there was an issue regarding the timing of this election and the Thanksgiving holiday when people were out of town, making it nearly impossible to do that. So again, too, the slating of the candidates for clerk happened 2 months before the election. That was all very short timing. So it's unfortunate that this board cannot do that and recognize the fact that we're a 50-50 board. We have the right to have our person seated, and that's you guys need to look back at the minutes.
Member Ortiz. Hold on a second. There you go.
Okay, thank you. I was hoping that the meeting wasn't going to go this way today. It's very unfortunate. I think I'm disappointed in my caucus. I have a recollection of what happened when Ken Harris's seat needed to be filled as well, because there was a fight about it at my township meeting afterwards where board members were confronting each other. And as I recollect, Board Member Ogala is correct when she says that it was something that the Democrats had to figure out on their side. So one Democrat went over to the Republican caucus and asked them if they would vote no or abstain. And they said that they would abstain because they wanted to stay out of it, because normally they would vote for whoever the other party brought forward. So that was Democrats who voted our own appointee down with the help of another member, board member Trainier. So because of the votes of abstain and because of the votes of no on our side of the caucus, that's why that person wasn't appointed. I don't think it's right that we try to rewrite history and blame Republican caucus for something that they did not do. That was something of our doing. So I think that it's very important for us to start this year out right. That's what I thought we were going to do when we elected new leadership, and everyone was saying that we were tired of the fighting. We were going to try to reach over to the other sides of the aisle. We weren't going to try to do what we did these last 2 years. And as I see now, we are not starting off on the right foot at all. So I just want to say that I'm sorry to the appointee who was here, who is not getting appointed today. I am tired of the games. I'm fed up with the fighting and the tit for tat, and I'm going to get one up on you. I think we should just try to work together as best as we possibly can and not try to rewrite history and, oh, well, they did it to us when Ken Harris was up, so we're going to do it to them. That's not even what happened. We need to just be honest, have integrity, and try the best that we can to work with the other side of the aisle, because again, not many things on the forest preserve are contentious. So I don't know why we're trying to start fighting on day one for absolutely no reason, because we want to show who's the bigger person and who can get more. It doesn't make sense to me. We're a 50-50 split board. We should act like we're 50-50, and we should try to work together as best as we can. And I'm very disappointed on how this day is going. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Okay, looks like county board members are done. We're going to move on to, oh, I'm sorry. All right, sorry. You've already spoken once, didn't you? No, these are public, these are board member comments. So no, there's no follow-up. If she wasn't answered, she's going to answer. No, we're not doing this. County board, no, we're not. You had your time to speak. You spoke. We're not going to keep going back and forth all day. I've made a decision. Thank you. County board announcements by the majority leader. You're out of rule. You're out of order. You're out of order. You're out of order, Mr. Butler. You're out of order, Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler, you're out of order. Mr. Butler, would you like to be removed? County board member, county leader, Richmond.
I didn't know I had my microphone put on. I didn't ask for it.
Sorry, you had, sorry. Okay, so folks here,
I will move it like that. from now
okay,
on. How's that?
I'm sorry. Okay, folks here, this is silly stuff. I'm trying to do the best I can. I thought yours was on. This gentleman, it was obviously Mr. Butler, so when they're
No,
all
that's-
up, they're all tall. I'm not trying to put you on for
No,
anything other than I thought it was. That's all.
I was just trying to clarify. So
right.
what I'll do probably best is I move it over
Thank
here
you.
from here on.
Thank you. So there any other leaders who'd like to talk out before I go to Speaker Van Dyne? Speaker Van Dyne.
Thank you. I'll start off this conversation by saying that late last week, I was provided a name, Mr. Oxley. I did have the opportunity to call him right away. Him and I spoke for well over 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes after I read his, not so much a resume, but some information about him. We talked about all the involvement he has been in the city of Lockport, all the things that he's done. I left the conversation with Dave, Mr. Oxley, really enjoyed the conversation. I think he's a stand-up gentleman. I do think that he will be an amazing board member. I have been able to encourage probably only one of my Democratic caucus members to call the man. Her response to that conversation was very good as well. This position I took was probably, it's been a week, and I have been working super closely with the Republican leader, the Democratic leader, on trying to, this is such a whirlwind right now, trying to set up committees, negotiate and force reserve. There's been a lot of conversation, just the only opportunity with these individuals, some with my caucus. Jim takes care of conversations with his. Sherry has really stepped up and reached out. But at this time, I don't feel that the Democratic caucus had total opportunity to do some research on the gentleman. And I encourage every one of them to call him because I feel like they will be super impressed. I don't feel like we had enough time. And I would really like to seat the gentleman after everybody has an opportunity to speak to him. I think he will be a great addition. So I hope that answers your questions. Judy is right. This timing was not ideal, but it's not ideal either for the folks that want to do their own research. So I don't think this seating is going to. I hope it doesn't impede on moving forward at the Forest Preserve, because I believe that the conversations between the leaders and myself, we have a plan. Hope it works out, but I don't anticipate this gentleman not being seated today will affect the Forest Preserve vote whenever we get to that. So, like I said, I hope that answers your question, and you have my reasoning. So, thank you.
Okay, so there's an order that we go to. That's why I asked. So do you have something now? Okay, the speaker goes last. So I'm just letting you know, that's why I asked. So, and we're not doing any more county board members. So you're gonna close this here now. Yes, I can. Go ahead. You're gonna close it. No, go ahead. Go.
So, all right.
Leader Richmond.
The only reason I decided to speak is the fact that Joe said something that is 100% true. The three of us have been working very well together. I think that what we're trying to do is put things in the past and move forward. I don't want to see this board become, Friday night fights. This is not the way that we should act as adults, or that. We had great conversation, I believe, over the weekend. I think as of 7:30 this morning, had we had the meeting at 7:31, I think things would have gone extremely smooth. We would all been home or at work or whatever we needed to be. The challenge is that things have popped up in the last minute, and I know that happens. I mean, in the business world, you run into challenges, and I think this is what has caused us to have this kind of discussion today, which is unfortunate. I wish we could go back to the initial proposal, or the proposal we had earlier, and it's sad that that's not the case. So, and if Joe wants to speak more, I'm more than happy to. I'm not going to tell you, Jennifer, what to do, but I know that we're trying to work together, and I think that it can be done. What we have to do is get our caucuses in line and understand that if we were chosen as leaders, we're chosen for a reason. If you're playing on a team and you're just one of the players, and you go up to your manager and you tell him, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, guess what? You're off the team. Unfortunately, we don't have that luxury here. However, what we need to do is we need to have everybody respect their leader and try and be able to work together. And that's, I think, where we're at right now. So thank you again for letting me speak.
Thank you. At this time, I need a motion to adjourn. No, we're not having, I'm going to tell you this right now. I have played these games for 2 years. You're not speaking. I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Trenier. Is there a second? Seconded by Newquist. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Yeah. Meeting